I'm currently in my final year doing BTech EEE, which is Electrical and Electronics from VIT Chennai. I got placed in Deloitte USI, which is Deloitte US offices in India, in the month of August 2020 via campus placements. I got recruited for the role of Business Technical Analyst, which is consultant. Deloitte is one of the top multinational companies in the world which does services like consulting, advisory, tax, audit based services to its clients. Its clients includes the top companies of the world, like most of the Fortune 500 companies. Deloitte is also one of the big 4 companies of the world. So I feel very honored and privileged to be a part of such a great organization, and also I feel very excited to begin my professional career in such a great company. So I'm excited and I'm eagerly looking forward towards that journey. So Deloitte called in for BTech applicants mainly for 3 profiles, namely Business Technical Analyst, which is nothing but consultant, Audit Analytics, the final one was Risk, IT and Financial Advisory. We were allowed to maximum apply for any 3 profiles, and you have to also give a preference for the order of your profiles, and I chose consulting, audit and risk in the same order. And the eligibility criteria was you need to have a 6.5 CGPA in college and without any active backlogs, plus 10th and 12th school aggregate should be 60 plus. Deloitte was one of the very few companies which actually allowed everybody whoever applied to write the exam, like whoever was eligible to write the exam. And the online test was actually different for everybody. That is, like, it was based on the preference. Like if your preference was consulting, audit and risk, you had a different set of questions. If your preference was audit, risk and consulting, you'll have a different set of questions. So it was based on your preference. Since my preference was consulting, audit and risk, it was I only had aptitude, English, that is verbal, and logical reasoning. Aptitude, logical reasoning. The next round for my profile, which is consultant, was jam, which is just a minute. You will be given any topic on spot and you have to speak on it for about 1 minute. And the final round, which was actually a personal interview, which consisted both of technical interview as well as HR questions. Okay, so basically the first round was the online test. The online test, since my order was consultancy, risk and consultancy, audit and risk, I only had 3 sections, namely aptitude, verbal and logical reasoning. The first section was verbal, which is English. It was actually very simple. It was not at all complicated. It was just the general English which we use in everyday conversations. So it was actually very simple. And I don't think any separate preparation is required for that. It consisted of around 20 questions, I guess, and the time limit was around 20-25 minutes, I guess. And the next section was logical reasoning. Logical reasoning was also very simple. It was very basic IQ questions like the arrange, the order, and some questions like that. I don't think any separate preparation was required for that section also. But if you look for other companies, maybe you would require separate preparation for these sections. But since but in Deloitte recruiting process, especially with the questions that came for me, what I felt was there was no separate preparation required to crack such questions in logical reasoning section, and the time limit was also enough. And the final section was aptitude. Aptitude consisted of 25 questions and the time limit was around 25 to 35 minutes totally. Aptitude, actually we had to prepare. I think the basic preparation of aptitude was very much enough. The main topics which they covered was permutation, combination as well as logarithms. Most of the questions were based on PNC and logarithms, and other few questions were from topics such as HCF, LCM, work time, and profit and loss, and etc. But most of the questions were only from permutation, combinations, and logarithms. If you had a very good flow in these chapters, then it would be very easy. And even like 2 to 3 questions were so simple, such that it was just like formula substitution. So it was actually very much simple, and the time was also very much sufficient. We didn't have any negative marking throughout the test. It was only MCQ based and no subjective or any type like that. It was MCQ based and it was very simple. If you had given any other preference such as risk, audit, consulting, or any other order maybe, then the type of questions would have changed and the sections would have also been increased, such as coding questions would have been included. That's what I heard from my friends. And the test duration was about 2 hours, and it was conducted in like batches. Like throughout the day the test was going on, and it was conducted in batches, 2 hours for some set of students. And the next, after 2 days, like we got the results for the shortlist for the next round, and I got shortlisted for the profile for consulting. And the next round was JAM, which was just a minute, which was to be conducted the next day. In just a minute, it was like progressed in this way, such that we'll be given a topic on spot and we had to talk about it. We had 10 students in each panel with an interviewer. There's a HR, the person who used to conduct the process, and she actually gave each person a random, she actually asked each person to pick a random number from 1 to 40, and based on that number the topic will be given to us. Since Deloitte was a company based on finance, I thought they'll be asking questions related to finance, general politics, such and topics like that. But they asked a lot of technical topics, like not very easy technical topics, some topics which we actually required knowledge, we actually had to require good knowledge. And so we were actually allowed to change the topics on the spot in case we didn't like them. We were given one chance to change the topic, but we cannot change back to the original topic in case if we didn't like the second topic. And we also are given 30 seconds prior to our speech so that we can recollect our thoughts. Marks were not deducted for changing topic. And the topic which many other panelists, members in my panel got were simple, such as integrating sports and technology. Then it was general, like does school children require electronic gadgets. Some got very technical topics such as inclusion of robots in medical field. And my topic was safety application of OTP and MFA. I didn't know what MFA was. Like I knew about multi-factor authentication, but I didn't know it was MFA. Like it didn't strike me at that instant. So I thought I'll just go about with OTP. I didn't feel like changing the topic. So I thought, okay, let us go with this topic. And 30 seconds I recollected. I just had a diary with me. I just noted down some points whichever came to my mind, and I spoke for 1 minute. The rules were we were supposed to speak about the pros, the cons, and we were also asked to conclude properly. But I was very much involved in my body language and my fluency, so that I actually forgot about the time. So I was only able to tell the pros, and I completely forgot about the cons and the conclusion. So that by the end of 1 minute while I was telling the pros of the topic, the interviewer interrupted me and she told me my time was up. So I was very startled. I didn't know what to do because I didn't tell the cons, nor I didn't give a proper conclusion, whereas all other members in the panel gave a proper conclusion. So I was very much confused. I don't know what to do. I was feeling very tense. But one confidence which I had in myself was that my flow, my fluency, as well as my body language was better than many other members in the panel. So I had a chance there to make it. So I had that hope, and somehow I got in. The points which I told during my speech were it was simple, like OTP and MFA means like how authentication we use, private key, public key, all those technical aspects I spoke. I actually recollected from whatever I learned during my online course of cyber security, which I completed some 3 months back. So sometimes these online courses help us at times which we never expect. So knowledge is never wasted. So that is what I learned from this process. And the intimidation for the next process came about in 2 hours. I was very tense, but somehow I got in through. Almost around 6 members from our panel. It totally consisted of 10 members. Out of 10, 6 members got selected for this final run, which is personal interview. I was asked questions such as first they asked me about myself, my introduction. Then they asked me about was Deloitte my first preference, and I told since I was from a core background, I expected to apply right for core companies, but Deloitte was also one of my preferred companies. Then since the interviewer was from a non-CSE background, she was from EC, so she understood my situation. Then she asked some technical questions related to coding, which I'll cover in the upcoming questions. And she asked me about some since I'm from AAA, she asked me about my favorite subject in AAA. Why is it my favorite subject? Then from that she asked the next question, such as what is the difference between AC and DC current, all those. Since I told power electronics is my favorite subject, then she asked about the real life application of power electronics. So the main thing about the interview process is that they'll never ask any new questions. They'll only ask from whatever you say. Like if you give one answer now, the next question will be based on the answer which you give. And they asked me some coding related questions, and they asked me whether I had any question to ask them. Around 2,300 BTech students applied, and for my role, around 160 students got shortlisted for the second round, and third round 90 got shortlisted, and finally 46 got selected. So all put together, the three profiles from BTech, I think they recruited around 80 to 100 students. I think that was the ratio. My strategy in tracking these companies was just be yourself. That is all. My preparation was mainly oriented towards core companies and coding, but this was completely different. So just being myself, I was just myself, so it was very easy for me, and it was very helpful also. And Jam was actually my area of interest. I like public speaking, so I really love talking. And I'm a very honest person, so I never lied during the interview, so I was very honest. So I thought I will get the reward for my honesty, so finally I got selected. The coding round was only the final round for me. The questions and topics where they asked me the difference between the linked list arrays, why arrays used, what are queues, and the difference between SQL and no SQL, and recursion. They asked me coding questions for two programs, such as find the vowels in a string, why do you use inbuilt functions in Java, why you chose Java over Python, and Java over Python, and time complexity, space complexity, and such general questions. The questions were actually simple. I guess they asked me simple questions because maybe I'm from a non-CSE background, and these were the coding questions. My preparation was coding was since I was from a non-CSE background, I didn't have much idea about DSA, so I learned it only during the summer holidays, just 2 months before placement. So I think interest and passion for coding is enough. Like 1 week, if you learn properly, it will be like more than enough coding. Like if you have the passion, you can easily learn within 1 week. So that is what I felt, and everything is available online. You have a lot of sites to learn, so it's easy. If you have the interest, you can easily learn. I referred sites such as W3 Schools, Geeks for Geeks, and many other sites. For aptitude, one site which I referred was IndiaBix and careerbless.com. They had a lot of questions, and for coding it was mainly Geeks for Geeks and HackerRank, and there are a lot of sites. You have a lot of sites available for coding online, so you'll get questions, you'll get concepts, you'll get everything. And YouTube also for learning videos regarding searching and sorting and algorithms as such. But what I feel is in such clubs you will get exposure to industry. So apart from your theory knowledge you learn in class, you get a lot of exposure. You will come to know about the recent trends and advancements in technologies. What does the industry expect, and how are the placement scenarios going? What are the topics that you need to prepare? And you can also find your area of interest. Like if you just learn something theoretically, it is very difficult to find our area of interest. But if you learn something practically, you will know where you stand, what you interest, your skills, talents, and etc. So if you join such clubs, you will get an idea about the industry and your passion, and as well as your talents. Perfect resume, see, one thing you need to understand is that you cannot have everything in your resume. Like I write from research paper to projects to internships to A to Z, everything It is not possible. Maybe for some students they'll have, but just do whatever is possible. Be a part of a lot of clubs and chapters, and take part in a lot of technical events such as hackathons. Not only participate but try to win those events also, and continuously participate, so you'll know where you stand, you'll know about the topics, current topics in the market scenario, and what does the industry expects from the new graduates. And apart from this, inter projects, I think if you do your course projects very well, it is more than enough. Just don't copy from the internet, and do some course projects such as which adds value to your resume, which shows your own talent, which shows your uniqueness. And work experience, since we are just graduating, work experience will be mainly from internships. So go for internships in companies where you learn a lot. Just don't go by the name, but go for companies where you do some projects, do some real-time projects, work with them. I know that we will not know anything at that age, but if we try only, we'll get to know everything. So that's the first step towards learning the industry practices. Do not add unnecessary details in your resume. Like, just add whatever you know. Prepare a company-based resume. Do not add unnecessary details like whatever you did. Don't add. Just add whatever you know very thoroughly. Like, if you're 100% thorough in a concept, then add it. Just for the sake of adding, don't add, because they'll ask from your resume during the interviews, and if you don't know, it will be a black mark. So just add whatever you know thoroughly in your resume, and prepare different resumes for different companies. Make the resume look good. Fit it in one page so that it's easily readable by the interviewer. Actually, maintaining CGPA is very, very important. I had a lot of seniors saying that CGPA is not important, no need CGPA. No. Out of 100 companies, only 5 companies, okay, maximum 10 companies will not look at your CGPA. Especially the companies which come during the first 3 months of your placements. After the 3 months, it will become equal. But during the first 3 months of your placements, where a lot of super dream companies and companies with high package, about 25 lakhs come, they really look at your CGPA. So CGPA is must, especially in VIT. There's a lot of competition. We had all 4 branches competing, so since there's a lot of competition, CGPA was only criteria for them to shortlist the upgrade candidates. So even sometimes 9-pointers were also not shortlisted. Some companies, 2 to 3 companies took only 9-pointers. So CGPA is very, very important, especially during the first 3 months. Maybe after that it will all become equal, but during the first 3 months CGPA is very important. Get high CGPA as much as possible. It is never enough. Like, if you say okay 9 is enough, no, sometimes even 9 is not enough. So get as high as possible. And especially if you're from other departments, if you want to get shortlisted for software companies, you need to have CGPA. So CGPA is very, very important. Coming to the previous question, most of the companies will shortlist from 8 to 8.5. Very few companies will take from 7 itself, but mostly it will be during the first 3 to 4 months, it will be 8 to 8.5. And for non-CA students, we'll conduct a test called Hacker Rank Test, where we had to solve the questions, and those 200, 300 students coming in the top, they were eligible to apply for CS companies also. And yeah, some of the tips you want to share with your juniors. Okay, this I have written it in the Word file, so I thought I'll just read it from there, it will be better. Okay, never think that this is a tough phase in life. This is a phase which is common in everyone's life. So enjoy it. Do not become a victim of peer pressure. Do what is only possible for you. Do not feel jealous of your friends when they get placed before you. Clap for them now. The chance will come soon. Support each other in the process. Many times results will not go as per our wish, but do not get dejected. Even if you give your 100%, there are chances where you will not be selected, whereas someone who gave only 70% will be selected. It's never your fault. We never know fully as to what the company expects professionally as well as personally. We can justify professional requirements, but coming to personal requirements, it's different. So do not think about the things which are not in your hands, such as HR, peer competition. Just concentrate on your preparation, that's all. There will be a lot of unexpected things happening during the process. Do not let them define who you are. Just because you didn't get selected doesn't mean you're dumb or you're worthless. It's just a process, and that's just a time. Just do hard work with smart work. If your intentions are pure and you can achieve anything, VIT will definitely help you get placed. Like, nobody goes unplaced in VIT. Everybody will land up in a dream job or a super dream job by the end of placements. Luckily, there will be no pandemic in the upcoming years. Just concentrate on maintaining a high CGPA, have good technical knowledge. Just do hard work during the placement season. If you start even during the placement season, you will get placed, or just start 1 or 2 months before. But if you want to get placed in some 25 lakhs company, you have to start long before. And brush up your coding skills. Even though you are from a non-CSE background, you're not interested in coding, you have no other way, you have to know coding somehow. Learn coding. Good knowledge, have a good knowledge in aptitude, and good technical knowledge is very important. There are a lot of sites which gives a lot of questions about your technical interviews. Just follow those sites. Go to the company and view about their interview process. Like Glassdoor, Geeks or Geeks will give the interview process for the company. Prepare based on that. Ask your friends about the process and help each other during the process. And just be confident. All the best. Thank you.